Yes. John Moore is our next person to join us here in the press conference room, and of course John is going to be saddling Not Listening to Me and in the Quoz. And speaking to you yesterday, you're feeling quietly confident that you can run a big race with a horse that's had some issues.
Yes, he did. He bought by George and I a few years back as a yearling, English sales, and we'd sold him actually to Matthew there, and then I found a horse called Sunny Ying overseas for Matthew, and Matthew said, well, you take the yearling back and I'll keep Sunny Ying. So I ended up taking the horse off Matthew and forgot about him at the time, and when after he broke, and I said, oh God, I own this horse, I better do something about it. So I rang John Hawkes and said, would you take this Dylan Thomas out of this very good mare Flame of Sydney and see how he goes? So Hawksy took him, and of course you know what the story is with respect to his form. He won by 5 first up, and he continued on an uphill scale into group class. We backed him up within 1 week to run in the Coolmore. He ran second to a multiple Group 1 horse. From then on, I thought, well, better not bring him to Hong Kong. We can have a bit of fun in Australia and probably put a few million Australian dollars together. But unfortunately, he contracted a serious viral infection, which nearly meant the end of him. But with the help of Ben Mason and Agnes Banks Equine Clinic just outside Sydney, we managed to save his life and get him back to Muskoka. We then gave him time off and recovery. And then I said, well, I'm coming down with a horse to race in Australia. Why don't I said to my brother, Gary, we'll put him back into work with you, and we'll take him down to Melbourne and just see how well he has recovered. Well, he didn't run very well down in Melbourne. He had 2 or 3 runs, even though he was riding behind Buffering in a Group 1 at Moonee Valley, which was a good run considering he was running under 1,100 pounds and that. And then I said to Gary, well, that better be the end of it. And then my fiancée down there said, look, don't even think of leaving him in Australia now. Get him back to our Hong Kong stable, get a bit of spit and polish into him. We'll get 50 or 60 pounds on him, and we'll be winning races in Hong Kong. Well, we did that, got him back to Hong Kong, 50 or 60 pounds on, and now I look at him as being the best 1,000-metre horse in Hong Kong.
And that must give you a degree of confidence coming in to tomorrow night then. But okay, you're against some really good sprinters from all over the place. And yes. So do you think you are the one to beat?
I think I'm the one to beat. It's been a no-hassle trip so far. He travelled really well. He got straight into his tucker the minute it was put in front of him. The Desert Sun's done really well with his coat. He's got the fabulous sheen to it. His weight... no, I'm happy with the weight. He's, in Hong Kong, I always thought that he was a little on the big side. And Purton, after he won the other day, had said to me before the race, this horse is 1 run short. And I said, oh, OK. Well, he's come out and run 55 and a half or something. And I said to his aunt, well, that race should have topped him off for Dubai. But as I said, a non-hassle-free trip so far. And I'm going in the race with thinking, even from gate 4, with the world's premier jockey on board, I'm thinking he's the one to beat.
And you look at some of the others, the international opposition. I mean, Soul Power coming, I think, for a 6th Dubai World Cup night. And how do you assess some of the international runners? Do you feel the form will stack up in your favour?
Yes, I've been told by a few of the scribes that it's a tough race. And we know Soul Power, if you read the paper this morning, I think it was the trainer who's said that he's looking for speed, that they can get a nice, no doubt, cover him behind and really go through the gears or get into a rhythm, go through the gears and be a top chance. That's with respect to Soul Power, but the one I'm probably more worried about would be the Arab horse that's already had 2 wins so far by Oasis Dream out of a Green Desert mare. I would think he'd be the one to beat, and no doubt the bookies in England do so because he's the favourite at the moment. So, we're going in a little bit open-minded because we don't know the form that well. We just have to go on Super Saturday form and so forth.
And you know what it's like to win on Dubai World Cup night? How special was that for you to win here?
Stirling City, with the two kids looking after, and Fifi and all the team, it was very special because this is the premier world event where the world is watching, and to bring a horse here and win a Group 1, well, it's every trainer's dream. But we're here with a horse that, as I said, has been hassle-free so far, where Stirling City wasn't that sound going into the race. Thank God for a bit of aquapuncture and that. We managed to turn the tables, and he won the Shaheen. But, we're here. We'd like to think that we could win another Group 1 here, and as the world stage, I think it's what every trainer's dream would be to win a Group 1 in Dubai.
And then presumably you might be thinking of putting on your top hat and tails, going to Ascot, or is that could be the agenda, or where do you see the rest of the year for your horse? Okay,
well, Singapore's been cancelled because it would have been down to Singapore for the international sprint. The Jockey Club has now programmed a 1200 metre Group 1. I think it's during Champions Mile weekend. That being the case, that would be his next target after here. If we feel that the horse hasn't gone over the top after a trip to Dubai and then the sprint in, I think it's May, early June, whatever, May, then we'll consider the King Strand over in the UK because, Team More love Royal Ascot, all the pulp and pageantry and everything, and it's really not the prize money. It's, as I said, it's the pulp and pageantry, and just to be a part of one of the greatest race meetings on the planet would be his next target.
Well, best of luck there on your first target on Saturday night, and hope you do get another World Cup winner. John, thank you very much.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions for John? Oh, straightforward. Was the owner happy with what he said?
If it's not, he might change stable.
Yeah. Obviously, Matthew's been a big support for your stable for many years. To be able to bring a horse here for him must be a great thrill, and to be able to potentially have a winning chance.
Exactly. He's been here before with Sonny King. I think it was in the Shaheen with Mosse on board. Pretty sure he ran 4th. So Matthew has had a taste. Oh, 3rd. I'm getting signs from down there. Wrong again. Hand signs. Yeah, but no, when I said, well, bring Not Listening to Me over here, Matthew said, right, if you think that's the race to go for. I'm full of confidence in your opinion to bring him over here, and here we are. And as I said, we're going into the race with very high hopes.